We bring you a series of tragic and thought-provoking events from the world of aviation that have raised serious concerns about communication, safety, and the complexity of modern air travel. First, a heartbreaking incident involving a Black Hawk helicopter and a passenger plane has captured the attention of aviation experts worldwide. According to reports, the Black Hawk helicopter, identified as PAC-25, had been taking precautionary steps to avoid potential collisions. However, it now appears that a tragic miscommunication led to the crash. It seems likely that PAC-25 mistakenly identified a different aircraft, possibly a departing flight from the same airport, and believed it to be the aircraft referred to by air traffic control. Unfortunately, PAC-25 did not realize that Flight 5342 was descending directly into its flight path. This misidentification resulted in the Black Hawk helicopter failing to adjust its course in time to avoid a collision with the passenger plane. Though we cannot say for certain, based on the available information, it appears that the pilot of the Black Hawk was unaware of the presence of Flight 5342, and tragically, his aircraft collided with it. The crash caused the passenger plane to break into several pieces, which sank several feet into a nearby river, while the helicopter was left upside down on the water's surface. The rescue operation was a monumental challenge, as the waters in the area are approximately 8 feet deep, with strong winds and floating ice obstructing the path of the rescue teams. The severity of the situation only deepened with the harsh environmental conditions, adding to the difficulty of recovering the wreckage. In a chilling twist, audio from air traffic control has surfaced, capturing the final moments as the two aircraft came dangerously close to each other. In the recording, we can hear the air traffic controller communicating with the helicopter pilot, who seems confident in identifying the aircraft. But tragically, it was not Flight 5342 that he had in his line of sight. As the aircraft continued on their paths, no response came from the Black Hawk pilot, signaling the tragic end of the incident. The audio paints a haunting picture of how minor lapses in communication and situational awareness can lead to deadly outcomes in the world of aviation. This devastating accident raises critical questions about how such miscommunications can occur and what measures can be implemented to prevent similar tragedies in the future. It is clear that even in an age of advanced technology, the human element remains a crucial factor in maintaining flight safety. Now, in a completely separate case, we shift to a South Korean airline, Flight JU-2216. This flight encountered a different set of challenges when a bird strike caused a significant malfunction in the aircraft's landing gear. The flight was initially granted permission to land from the south on runway 1 northward. However, air traffic control cautioned about the presence of bird activity in the area, leading the pilot to alter the flight path slightly. Unfortunately, the aircraft collided with a couple of birds mid-flight, prompting the pilot to declare a Mayday emergency. The plane was instructed to go around and land on runway 19, which required the aircraft to approach from the opposite end of the airport, something that was not the usual procedure. As the aircraft made its attempt to land, it became apparent that the landing gear was not functioning properly and failed to deploy. Faced with a serious emergency, the pilots had no choice but to make a belly landing. The plane crashed into an elevated localizer antenna and a concrete embankment, erupting in a massive fireball. Miraculously, the tail section of the aircraft remained intact, but the crash resulted in extensive damage to the plane. Fortunately, emergency services were quick to respond, but the incident serves as a stark reminder of how unpredictable aviation emergencies can be. Lastly, we bring you another devastating story, this time involving a missile attack that led to the tragic crash of a civilian aircraft. The incident occurred at approximately 10:43 a.m. Kazakhstan time, when Russia's Rostov Air Traffic Control Center received a signal indicating that the crew of a passenger plane had decided to divert to Aktay Airport due to adverse weather conditions in Baku. However, as the aircraft made its approach to land, it faced an unprecedented disaster. The flight crew encountered an oxygen tank explosion explosion in the passenger cabin, causing passengers to lose consciousness and prompting the crew to request immediate medical assistance. Despite their efforts to stabilize the aircraft, the situation worsened. The crew tried to make 2 landing attempts, but the aircraft was unable to maintain altitude or stabilize. Tragically, at 11:28 a.m., the aircraft crashed and all contact with the crew was lost. Initial investigations suggest that the plane was struck by a missile fired from Russia's anti-air defense system. The missile was launched due to a misidentification of the civilian aircraft, which was flying at a higher altitude, rendering its aircraft cannons ineffective. Consequently, the system deployed a missile, which navigated toward the plane using advanced onboard guidance. Upon impact, the missile's 25-kilogram high-explosive warhead detonated, causing catastrophic damage to the aircraft's tail. The resulting explosion and shrapnel penetration destabilized the plane, sending it into an uncontrollable descent. The wreckage was found near ACTA Airport, and this devastating attack led to the tragic loss of lives on board. This incident has sent shockwaves through the aviation industry, raising alarms about the risks posed by misidentifications and the use of advanced military technology near civilian airspace. These events remind us of the fragility of life and the importance of safety measures, improved communication, and heightened awareness in the world of aviation. Our thoughts are with all the victims and their families as we continue to monitor the investigations into these tragic events. For more updates, stay tuned and subscribe to our channel for detailed coverage.